Good morning everyone, welcome to the last of our writing workshops that are part of the Digital Creation Hub project. I'm Dorothy Henderson, I'm one of the creatives that's been helping to deliver this project on behalf of Esperance Community Arts. This one is actually a bit longer than most of the others we had, a little bit longer. It's a writing retreat. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about why we have writing retreats. So why do you go on a writing retreat? Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I find writing, even though it's something I try to earn some money from, is always put on the back burner. It's a bit like horses. They're always, even if you're earning money from them, there's something that gets done when nothing else is distracting you from them. So in order to deal with both, I find that I have to do them early in the morning, so I create my own little mini writing retreat and I go upstairs into our loft where no one else can get to me and turn off my phone and try and write up there. So that's, I kind of try and have a mini writing retreat every day, but it doesn't always work. But to get a lot of writing work done in a big chunk, people often go on retreats. So why do they go on a writing retreat? Well, you go to escape distractions like hanging out the washing the dishes, answering the phone, to focus on what you're writing, so to dedicate yourself to the task of that work for a period. It could be a short period or a whole weekend or a week, or some people go on month-long writing retreats, so you're just to focus on your work. And some people go on organised writing retreats so you can share your work with other people and learn. So they're usually quite expensive, but you can get scholarships to those. And there's some really nice ones in Australia. On my next slide I'll show you one, and I've got some in the notes here. There's some links to some of the ones that are in Australia. And the other advantage of going on a writing retreat is, even if you just go on your own writing retreat, is that you can be inspired and you can refresh your mind. And if you do it properly, you can energise your body as well. You can do yoga and meditate. So some of the organised retreats in Australia include, these are both over east unfortunately, so the Writing Your Life Story one is in New South Wales. It's not being run at the moment because of COVID, but the Rainforest Writing Retreat, I just look at that website and I just want to go. They have people there doing workshops, and it's in a beautiful place, and they can go swimming and they do yoga and they meditate, but they write. They have to write. That's the whole idea. But you can actually get scholarships to go to that one. So writing retreats are a bit of a thing. I think they might be a bit of a thing in the tourism industry too. It's another way for them to capitalise and fill up their rooms. But for writers, to go somewhere where your food and drink needs are met and you can just write is probably a really good idea. But we are not doing that here, though we do have food and drinks. We're having a half-day retreat. So the plan was from 9 to 9:30 to do the introduction and writing warm-up and setting goals and planning. So we're going to push that into a very short time, because my job here in the writing retreat is just to keep you writing. So a little bit more about writing retreats. So the aim of a structured writing retreat, and I've skipped too fast there, sorry, going back, is to use the dedicated writing time to progress our writing projects in a supportive, non-surveillance environment, so no one else is looking at you. And there's a bit of a growth thing in the UK for academic writing retreats, so academics are getting together to help each other work on their papers, because it's quite hard to do all that stuff alone. So one of the references I have here is a site that takes you to some of their work that they do. So example projects could include book chapters, journal articles, research proposals and reports, just something you need to focus on. So at a proper writing retreat with lots of other people, you use most of the time for writing, all of you in the same room, and you have scheduled discussions between writing slots. So we're going to write and then we're going to have a break, and I'm going to get you to talk to each other about what you've written, and then we're going to do a bit more, and then we're going to stop and talk again about what you've written, if that all works for you. That's the plan. So a retreat works best for you when you get to focus exclusively on your writing. So it doesn't work to go on a writing retreat and then go and sit in the pool or in the cocktail bar. That doesn't work. You have to be writing. So I don't know about anyone else, but I have internet in the room when I'm writing. I'll look up too much stuff on the internet, so don't use the internet when you're in the room on a writing room. Download anything you need beforehand and just try and do it without the stick or whatever. define some specific goals and sub-goals. So I'm going to write this much of my story, or I'm going to write so many words, or I'm going to work on that particular bit, or I'm going to work on some dialogue, or set yourself a goal that's doable and attainable and recordable, or whatever the SMART guidelines are for a SMART goal. Define and discuss the content and structure for writing your sub-goals. So just try and work out what you're going to do and be prepared before you actually do the retreat bit, so you can just sit and work on it. And as you're doing a retreat, you need to look at what you've achieved and just make sure you're actually doing something. And I know it's probably not good for us to be stressed by achievement and goals, but even if they're just your own goals and you just tick a few off, it makes you feel better as you're going through the day. And so discuss your writing in progress, so seek feedback from friends, but don't let them hijack your work either. Just get it, sift it, think about it, and if it works for you, use it. If it doesn't, don't use it. So when you're going on another retreat, and we haven't really prepared very well for this one, but you should decide on your writing project and review the retreat program to make sure that you have stuff ready for each time slot, even if it's your own retreat. Say between breakfast and morning tea, I'm going to work on this bit, and get yourself sorted out as much as you can so that when you actually do the retreat, you're productive. So do as much of your reading and other preparation as you can. So if you book yourself a cabin on Woody Island before you go, make sure that you've done your research, got your material ready, your notes, your plans, your outlines before you go to the retreat, because the idea of your retreat is to just write. So do all the fiddly bits first, practice writing in the lead up to it, and don't download what you need when you go, and then you don't need the internet. So that is the end of the slideshow. So really there's not much more for me to say in the introductory session, because what we really need to do now is just to get on with writing. So do you all have something to work with now? So what we're going to do now is stop talking and actually get on with some writing, maybe over a cup of tea.